What's up YouTube, it's Chaos and we're back with another video, and today is going to be a very interesting video. Today I'm going to be attempting my first ever guide video, my free to play guide video on a character in WutheringWaves. I've been thinking about doing this for quite some time now. You know, seeing some of the best to actually like put out guys and who played this game. Like, you have Gacha Smack, you have Brassophone, there's Guobas, Sevi, a couple of them more like Hawkeye Sorrow, you know, guy makers, but I've watched them make guys playing a time. And so I just found the I got the idea of, why don't I just make one of my own, right? And fair warning to preface this, I'm not like some big brain like super smart guy maker. Like I can't provide you I can't provide you with like the numbers. Oh, hello. I can't provide you with like the numbers and all that, like sort of like grabs. Like I can't do that. All I can do is just offer you my free to play advice and like what I think is going to be the best free to play option for you for a particular character. That is just what I truly believe. So I do hope that you find this guy helpful, and without further ado, let's get into it. Now, for this video, the person we're gonna be making a guy on is Chixia. Now, Chixia is very underrated. She's very underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about her. A lot of people don't like mention her, and like in terms of, as like a DPS or like a person to start on your team. But I think Chixia is severely underrated, and she has the capabilities to be just as strong as you know, some of the more upper echelon DPSs in this game. And without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Let's start the guide. Uh, in terms of weapons, for free to play options, you have the Undying Flame, which is a attack percentage pistol. And this pistol helps increase this her skill damage by 20%. That helps out a lot, right? And then you have another free to play option called Nova Burst, which is another attack percentage substat, which increases her attack, of course. And essentially, when a resonator dashes or dodges, it increases the attack by 4%, stacking up to 3 times, which is basically increases attack by 12%. So that's also very good for her. Another free to play option is Pistols of Night. When intro skill is cast, increases attack by 8%. And another one is the Pistols of Voyager. When when you use her skill, it restores 8 energy. And this is very good to keep so that you could get her ult up quicker, because her ult is something that you want, especially when you're in a tight spot. You want to pop that thing as soon as possible when you're in a tight spot, because it does help out a lot and dishes out a lot of damage. So yeah, honestly, number one free to play option is Undying Flame, and then the second option is going to be, you're going to have Nova Burst, and then third option is Undying Flame, and then of course you have your fourth option, which is Pistols of Voyager, and or not, sorry, not Pistols of Voyager. It could be good pistols for her, but it's Pistols of Night that's actually good. So you have Undying Flame. You have Undying Flame, Nova Burst, and Pistols of Night. Those are your three free to play pistols or weapon you want to have for Chixia. And of course, there is the Gacha one, right, in the store, where it offers crit rate. The Stag Miss, as you can see here, offers crit rate. Increases her energy regen. But yeah, this is like the gacha option. If you want to go for that, you can. If you have the leftover standard pulls, you can try to get that. But those are the three best free play options for Chixia in terms of weapons. Now let's move on to Echoes. So for Echoes, uh, in her main slide, you want Infernal Rider. You know, he helps with covering up her Chixia's weakness, which is close range combat. And so, if you want to get up close and personal with an enemy and get a little bit more physical, Infernal Rider is the best number one Echo option to have for this. And so, you want for the main stat, you want either attack percentage or crit rate. I personally recommend crit rate, but if you don't have crit rate, then attack percentage is a great second option to pick up. As you can see here, uh, I would prioritize 43311 is the more overall like best option to have for best overall option to have for her. But if you want, you can always do 44111, which is another option where you get two 4 free cost ones, and you basically start off in the early game with 44111. But if you have uh, the right main stats for her, and for like three cost echo, then I recommend you do that. For right here, I have fusion damage bonus because it offers a lot of damage. I know these substats are bad, but fusion damage bonus is great because it offers a lot of elemental damage, and when you're comboing it with other resonators in her party, that could actually combine you could combine the elements, and you could get some damage off of it, especially in terms of like breaking enemies shields. Then that be then yeah, having fusion damage bonus is very good. All right, up next is her skills. I highly recommend that you obviously get her which one was it? You honestly get up her fourth circuit. Her fourth circuit is essentially where you hold down her E skill, and basically it dishes out a lot of damage. And I'll show you real quick. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, right where my health is, you see the red bar.
Think you can catch up?
And as you see right here, I will demonstrate to you. Alright, I'm just gonna build up the bars real quick. Bars build up, dodge, and then you hold down E. And as you can see, that's big damage. Now, as you can see, you saw the red bar, going down as I'm holding down the E skill. There's a white line at it, and when it crosses that white line, you press left click, and basically during that barrage of fire or fusion bullets, where you see the white line is when, as soon as the red bar, as it goes down, crosses that white line threshold, you left click and dishes out one singular fusion bullet that deals a lot more damage, as I demonstrated with the bear. So as you can see, it does help and does a lot of damage. So yeah, highly recommend you get fourth circuit up as the priority skill to level up. Second best is her uh ult. Her ult dishes out a lot of damage as well by just firing a barrage of bullets around her, which is great for shooting enemies away, like enemies that are close range to her. You just fire. If you have the ult rate, you press the ultimate button, which is going to be your, I believe, is it your R? Yeah, it's your R, and it shoots enemies away and sends them flying off of you. Not a far distance, but just enough to where you have some breathing room, right? And then of course, lastly, you want to upgrade the the skill where it's basically two extra dodges that she has, where you press her E and then she dodges in the direction that you're aiming, or the direction that you're aiming, and she dodges and fires bullets as she's dodging. So that's a nice, so that's pretty nice. But to make a long story short, for Circuit, her ult and her skill, that is the that is the skill priority you want in terms of leveling up for your Chixia. And then of course for basic attack and intro, these are subjective. I would recommend honestly your basic attack before the intro skill. Basic attacks it seems much better to prioritize over intro skill, but that's subjective. That's up to you. But objectively, you want Force Circuit, her ult, and her skill, and that order in terms of leveling up. So those are her skills, and let's see here, and then of course up next we have her resonance wave bands. Let's just go over these real quickly. Her resonance skill, boom boom hits will always be critical hits. This is really good because uh, every single time you use her skill, especially when you're holding down her skill button when she's firing those barrage of fusion bullets, they will always be critical hits, and those critical hits will result in more critical damage. And of course, critical damage means a lot more damage towards the enemy you're fighting. So that's really good. During her ult, every one target that's defeated, she recovers 5 energy, and this is up to 20 each time. So basically, 4 enemies is the max that she can kill with her enemies that she can kill with her ult, and she can get 20 energy back. That definitely helps out a lot when trying to get her ult back up again, because her ult is very good and keeps enemies off of her. And then you have her ult Blazing Flames again, where it deals 40% more damage to targets whose HP is below 50%. That is very good, especially when you're doing combo attacks with other Resonaries in your party. That works well with Chixia. That definitely helps in finishing them off with her ult. So that's very good. Her ult grants 60 of the Dermo-Baric bullets, which are the bullets where you hold down the E skill and she fires a barrage of them, and immediately resets the cooldown of the resonance skill using Fight Spirit. So it resets the cooldown of her skill. That's also very good. Uh, Inherent skill Numbling Spicy reaches max stats. Attack is additionally increased by 30%. So her attack is increased by 30% when her inherent skill is maxed out. That's good. And Resonant Skills Boom Boom increases the base attack damage bonus of all team members by 25% for 15 seconds, which is very good. Now, obviously, this most of this you're only gonna get out of like the gacha, but as a free play player, I was just fortunate enough and lucky that I was able to get her to R3, because I did do a couple of pulls on, of course, the standard weapon baron with the standard pulls. I was able to get her a couple times for it. But if you want, I would recommend getting her. But if you are trying to get her resonance, if you do have any leftover standard pulls you want to use, it seems like R1 is a really good option, and R2 is definitely a very good option. But you don't really need to. But you don't really have to like waste all your standard pulls on her. That's up to you if you want her. But this is just more of a recommendation to you if you are looking to try to get Chixia. She was on the. I think she's still on the banner. I could be wrong, or she gone. No, no, she's still on the banner. It's 11 hours. By the time we're recording, is 11:30 at night where I'm at. So if you can, you know, if you get the opportunity to try and get her. But if not, I'm sure she'll pop back around next time. It won't be long. It wouldn't surprise me if she was one of the 4-star characters in Jin C's banner or Chang Li's banner because there's not that many 4-star characters currently in the game right now. There's not too many. So they might have to reuse a couple of them, and it would not surprise me if Chixia is one of the 4-star characters that has to be reused. It happened with Hawkeye Sorrow. Pela was reused a lot for events and early banners. It happened with Pela, so it wouldn't surprise if it happened with Chixia. And so that and so we went over the weapon. We went over her echoes 43311. Obviously best option, but if you want to 44111 is also another option. Attack percentage or slash crit rate for the main slot for your echo. And then attack percentage attack percentage slash crit rate for the rest of them. And then you can have one for fusion damage bonus, but I would recommend attack percentage for almost all of them. It helps increases the number of damage they're gonna get out of her. And then for substats, well, you just gotta get lucky. Let's just give it a stack. You just gotta get lucky with the substats. I'm just keeping a stack for you, right? You just gotta get lucky with substats. But I believe you. I mean, hopefully your substat rolls are better than mine. I mean, some of these are okay. I got a crit rate one here, but defense and HP, and I have crit damage here, and then resonant skill damage bonus that helps out a lot as well. So yeah, this one is actually not bad. This is actually pretty good. This defense one, however, it just irks me. But anyways, yeah. And now moving on to the final section of this guide, we are moving on to teams. Now, for team concepts, for Chixia, you would think the way she plays, right? She's the type of person that you want to have zone out enemies because she is more of a range fire, and that is fair, right? And so for a team like that, the team that I would recommend that you want to have for Chixia, you're gonna want to have. Let's see, cannot move them. Okay, we'll do a quick sub. The team that you're gonna want to have: Chixia, Genshin, and then of course you want Baiji as your team comp. Baiji, of course, is going to be your 4-star free-to-play 4-star healer. Genshin offers shield with her resonance, I believe, talent, where you hold down her, or if you hold down her attack, whether it's left click or whether it's, I'm assuming, square or X on your controller, she puts up this force field, and this force field offers you a shield, and that shield also heals you as well. So essentially, you have double healing from Baiji and Genshin when you get Genshin's shield, and then Chixia, and then you have Chixia as your main DPS. Chixia, with the combination of her fusion damage, with her fusion element and Genshin when going up against bosses, it offers like a lot of break effect with enemies shield, and I would demonstrate that to you right now. This is gonna show you. We're just gonna show you the T comp of between Genshin and Chixia is very good. I'm gonna show you exactly how it is and combat. Alright, come here, big chicken. Yep. Just building a bar. Yep. Miss. Building up. Building a bar. See that fire shield? That fire circle that brought up? And then offering her shield. That amount of shield break that just came out. And then hold down E. And you see the damage that is being unloaded. Fire bullet. Boom. very, very simple and not too hard to, pull off. It's very simple. We didn't even have to use Baiji in that entire fight. Now the next second team card you're gonna try to use is Chixia, Mortefi, and I'm not sure why I have Rover here, but Chixia, Mortefi, and
I'll take good care
Tao
of you.
Chi. Of course, you're gonna need another tank, and of course another tank or shielder to help protect Chixia, which is good. Mortefi ult allows him the same way that Shin Cho from Gacha Impact with his ult where his water swords attack enemies. Mortefi's ult allows for characters like Chixia to go on barrage and attack enemies Mortefi's uh with Mortefi's ult by her side, allowing for more havoc damage to be applied onto the enemy. So that is another. So this is another team comp that works as well with Chixia. And then of course, last but not least, I think this team works pretty well. I mean, if you don't, that's okay. But I believe this team comp works. Chixia, Yinlin, and then and of course Verena. Yinlin with her ult, with her let after you pop her ult, is essentially kind of like Riot Shogun, where where even when she's not on the field, her lightning strings can still attack enemies and still apply electro damage. With Chixia having that ult being activated along with Chixia's basic attack with fusion damage creates a elemental damage bonus between Chixia and Yinlin, and of course Verena is another like healer you want as well. She's but if you don't have Verena, like I said, this is a more like a free to play guy. You have your Baiji, you know, and you have Tao Chi. If you got the Tao Chi as another essential like tank or slash healer, these are like two gettable characters. Like Baiji you get for free, and Tao Chi, um, maybe at least one. I'm not saying I would expect you to have one copy, but you know, just getting a Tao Chi helps out as well. And of course, Jinshin helps out as well with her shield, which is another option for healing. But these those are the free to play team options that I can offer you. The best one, of course, is the one that I showed you earlier in demonstration. You know, Chixia, Jinshin, and and Baiji. You basically have a nerd. You basically have a Resonator who helps create a shield, which does heal, and if not, you also have a Resonator who could provide direct healing without having to, you know, essentially go through like a special need of like filling up her bar. You can just pop her E and you get healing automatically. And then of course, the next second team option is Chixia, Mortefi,
As always, I'm the one
Chixia,
you need.
Mortefi, and Tao Chi.
Everything.
Time to work.
This is your second
No
best
more
team
lazing
option.
around then.
Second best team option, and then the last team option that I would recommend is Chixia, Yinlin, and Verena. Three separate teams, three separate healers. Or if you're not for Verena, then go with Baiji again. Again, having a healer on your team is up to you. Is up to you if you want to have a healer on your team. But Baiji, I would recommend best free to play healer that you could get in the game. So those are the best teams that I could recommend for Chixia at the current moment. And that's the team sub out of the way. But overall, Chixia is just a fun real fun character to have on the squad. I think she's super underrated. She has a lot to offer in terms of her utility, and she is a great character to pick up and upgrade. And I highly recommend getting her. And I hope those who do have her, treat her like, treat her the way that I treat her, and just make sure make sure you have the right materials to level her up. And I hope you have fun with her as much as I am having fun with her. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. This was my first ever guide in WutheringWaves, or just in Gacha in general, and it's with Chixia.
Another day, another heroic me.
Why are you interrupting my conversation? I'm joking. But anyways, yeah, that was the guide, my first ever guide and Gacha. I hope I did well. Of course, I feel like there are things I need to get better at, but overall, I think this was fairly decent guide for people
Think you can catch up?
who are very interested in building a character like Chixia, and I hope the message got across. And I really would appreciate it if you showed me where I did right or where I got wrong in the comment section. It would be very appreciative and very supportive. Of course, I'll figure out ways how present guys myself a little better if I do find like any issues during this video. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Chixia lives out here with Baby.
Flame on!
It looks so cool every time. Alright, bye YouTube.